to the season's fall. Tune in and watch the drama unfold.
This was insane to witness as the Toronto Maple Leafs, for the second game in a row, come out and win in overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing something absolutely special. What's up, everyone in the chat? It is a 3-0 stranglehold lead for the Leafs. My voice has continued to deteriorate, and this game did not help at all. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Mike St. John and Archie for becoming members. There's so many things to go over in this. Everybody in the chat, we all said before the season this has been different. Our first full season covering every single game, Darius and I, that is. And man, there's as good of a start as you could have asked for. 3-0, confidence all the way through. I believed all the way through. They come out. Benoit, technically, I think it was tipped by Nyes. We'll dive into that in a little bit. 3-0, win the next game, get a sweep. It's looking like Florida's going to be the team, which is going to be crazy, but the Leafs are ready. Welcome in, everybody, as Blake Sim comes in with the 279. As a good time as ever, we have a new super chat animation.
Yeah.
So it might be really loud, so turn down your volume for a quick second. But ladies and gentlemen, Blake, thank you for the donation. So anyone who donates today is going to be, I turn it down in time. Are going to be, let me know if that's a good volume. Everyone who donates today, you get the new super chat animation with Matthews, the goal horn, and a captaincy. Welcome in, everybody. Absolutely electric. 3-0.
3-0. I told y'all last year, hop on the Benoit train. It was leaving the station. Nick and I were on the train. We said, hop on. It's leaving Union. I don't know where it's going, but we want everyone on it.
It's here.
And it's officially arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
Spam the Berube.
Leafs in 4, baby. Leafs in 4. I am amped up. I know we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the actual game. They hung around. Like, they didn't have the lead. They didn't score the first goal tonight. Teams in these playoffs heading into tonight were 11-5 when they scored first. 6. There you go. They just hang around. They play the right way. Even right before Brady Tkachuk scored, that was a masterclass in how to play in the playoffs. And then it's a lucky goal, right? Like, it's a bad goal for Stolarz to let in, but you're still in the game. You played a good game to that point. You're limiting their chances. They got very few throughout the whole game, and then get a nice shot there from the point from Benoit. So 3-0. Job's not done. Job is not done, but we're not coming home.
As Johnny comes in with the 5 gifted members. Now, Agent, Jason, Matt, Lori, and Mike, we're now, I think, do some quick, mental math here. We are 14 members away from 200 members, which unlocks more emotes. It is as electric as it gets. So, Johnny, you've been supporting a lot lately. Thank you for the 5 gifted members. We, again, are only 14 away from the coveted 200. I'll throw the super chat up there once again. Thank you. I think the sound is good on this. I'm gonna make sure it's lower than anything. But thank you very much for the.
Let's bump up the sound tonight.
Yeah, crank it. Oh man, what a win! What a win! We've been around all season through the highs, through the lows, and there's been a lot of highs and lows within the games here. I was absolutely terrified going into overtime. A bad goal by Stolarz, but who cares? It is what it is. And looking at the box score, they gave Nyes credit for the Benoit shot. We'll see if that gets corrected. Unbelievable game from Mitch Marner. Unbelievable game from, a lot of the guys. Max Pacioretty, he was on -1. I thought he played fit.
Jim.
Holy.
Let's go.
Well, we hit 200 members, which means new emotes are unlocked. Jim with the
Yes.
20 gifted members. 20. Oh, we're gonna have a bunch of new emotes. Everyone who gets it. Man, Jim, thank you very much for support all year. Everyone who gets a gifted member from Jim, you now have access to emails. You have access to everything. Jim,
Let's go.
Thank you very much. It means the world to Darius and myself. Also, we're now at 200. Road to 300 members. Let's keep increasing the ceiling. Jim, thank you very much. Everyone who got a member. That's insane.
It's still going, by the way. It's hilarious. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. But who's confident in this team right now? Like, so much confidence coming through this team right now into the fan base, I think. Like, this is awesome. And there's a couple chants going on tonight. There's a couple chants.
Matthews Balding.
That was a good one. It was a good one, but I wonder if they'll be chanting "Sens are golfing."
Yeah, that's a good one. As Archie comes in with the 5. Holy, you guys are support. Gareth William. Oh, the vibes. This is incredible.
Get that horn going.
Feels like a dream. Let's get it back in. It feels like a pipe dream right now. Archie, thank you very much for the 5. Jim, thank you for the 20. We got the cap. Good time to get a new super chat animation going here.
Finally got the C on Matthews there where it belongs. He's playing like a captain in this playoffs.
Where it belongs. Again, if you are a member, you have access to a bunch of emotes, animations, other perks coming as well throughout the rest of the playoffs, but especially in the offseason. I think it probably should be Benoit's goal as well. Brady is bald. Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to. Brady is bald. It's crazy.
A lot of different.
Brady is bald is crazy because they were chanting Matthews is balding. ESPN has officially updated it, and it is Simone Benoit's goal.
You want to send me that updated one, and I'll replace it. Okay, so it is Benny's goal, ladies and gentlemen. We were on the train since last season. We were on the Benoit train.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
And guess what? He gets a goal in overtime. Got to give some credit. Let's dive into the game a little bit. Got to give some credit to the Senators' home crowd. They were pretty loud. They were pretty loud. But what matters is let's look at and I'll update the stats. But you can replace one of Nice's with the other ones. Here we go. We now have on the base bar the updated game stats. Bunch of different things to go over. So let's start with.
Just got you the ESPN.
Yeah, let's start with the game itself. I mean, an unbelievable game from a lot of players. I mentioned it. Stolar has played really well despite that one goal. You have Nyes. You have unbelievable pass from Mitch Meyer. Four Nations-esque.
Yeah, that was
incredible.
That was
so many good things in this game.
So much to go over, and I mean, Let's start at the start, which was, and we're gonna get Collins going here. I completely forgot to get that going.
Get those in a little bit, yeah.
We're gonna get those going, but their start, you know that the Sens are gonna come in hot because they need to respond, and it's their first game at home, and Ottawa hasn't seen a playoff game in 7 years, 8 years at this point. So, yeah, I think it's 8 years. So, you knew that they were gonna come in hot. The crowd was gonna be hot. They settled everything down. Ottawa got a couple chances, but nothing too high danger, right? But they settled everything down very nice. And got the crowd out of it to a degree. And then, like, we're going to talk about the refs as well, because, like, they dictated this game. Not one way or the other, just the game and the flow of the game. But, yeah, they calmed everything down. They got into that first commercial break, and about 10 minutes in, I thought that was beautiful because that could have got out of hand. We've seen it before, right? So that was beautiful. And then, obviously, the Sens go up 1-0. But, again, you respond quickly. They tied the game, right? And then you go up. You're playing beautifully with the lead. You let in a bad goal.
As Maya comes in.
There we go.
Maya, let me know how to pronounce it with the $4.99. Just get the super chat going. Thank you. Again, the goal horn is coming in. Thank you very much, Maya, for that. Means the world. Thank you. And welcome. Sharon Pierce from Australia. Welcome in.
Nice. Welcome in. It is like tomorrow there.
Blake
isn't it?
is
like,
coming in with
it at 10 a.m.
the $6.99. Let's go. If you guys are lead time, subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Leafs in 4. Go Leafs, go Blake. You've been around all year as well. Thank you very much. Leafs in 4 indeed. Leafs. Also, we know Berube wasn't actually saying Leafs in 4. I think people thought we were serious in the video. It was. We know we're talking about the 4-minute minor, but
yeah, we were. We know that,
but
just having a laugh.
Blake, thank you very much. Thank you, and Maya.
Yes,
well. Maya.
Absolutely. Maya, my dog. Shout out to your dog. But yeah, I think they finally put the whistles away in the third period. We know that's going to happen. We see it all the time, right? But until that point, like, they completely took any flow out of the game. It was a constant stop and start. Every little thing was a penalty. That Stützle penalty is insane, man. Like, it's a good thing he's going to get back to his water aerobics in like next week, at the start of next week. Monday morning, buddy, you're back to it, I guess, or you're out there on the golf course. So, No, I thought that penalty was terrible, but it was terrible like both ways. It wasn't just towards the Leafs tonight. And I usually say you got to rise above that stuff. You got to play above that stuff. It was just awful. It took any flow out of the game for either team. I hate it. It was just terrible to watch. But anyway, big win. Big
Huge.
win. 3-0. 3 Last time the Leafs had a 3-0 lead in the series, because we're talking about the 2-0 lead. Last time they had a 3-0 lead, 2001, they swept the Senators in the first round.
Yeah. Berube moves to 19 and Berube moves to 19-8 all time against the Senators in the playoffs, which is I don't know if that was a right stat. It seems like a lot of games against the Senators for Craig Berube, but it is what it is.
Maybe that's
crazy.
wait, all time? All time? Where you seeing this?
On the broadcast. There's no way though. Either way, regardless, Berube.
He was a coach in, if that's all time, he was a coach in Philly. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Someone can correct me on that. I could be wrong. I thought it said Berube was 18-8 against the Senators.
That's wild.
Someone's correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But regardless, the Leafs go up 3-0.
Also, the Leafs didn't win any games against the Senators this year in the regular season. That doesn't matter. And we were saying it from the start. Does not matter, let me tell you.
Oh man.
Good
Bobby
vibes.
McMahon, a few different chances too. Like McMahon, he finally had a few chances, still couldn't get it under his belt, which is unfortunate. And of course,
He had an okay game. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you did.
An okay game.
And you're going in now against you're going in probably against the Panthers. Now, I don't think John Cooper, I don't think they're out of it quite yet.
Not over, Just like this series isn't over. However, it's over.
A little bit scary to say that with the Leafs history, but yeah, I mean,
no, we gotta come on. We gotta let's have some confidence this year.
There's
let's
no
have
way.
some.
There's
No
more.
no more boo boo face.
They're gonna win. They're gonna
Yeah.
sweep. I predicted in 5. I'm gonna stick with it just because it was my prediction. Pretty good prediction. I mean,
I'm screaming.
I was also. I'm gonna take some credit here. I was the first one on the wagon, at least between me and you, about playing the Senators instead of the Lightning. Now I think we would have beat both. I think we probably would have beat both the way the Lightning are playing.
Right.
But
Well, maybe. You never know. These series go differently, but it's good, man. Feels good.
if you're happy, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Shout out to the 240 plus of you in here as Paul comes in with the 10. Bobby or Benoit seals the deal for the Buds. Swish, swish. The sound of the Sens being swept in the playoffs again. And unfortunately for the Senators, first time making the playoffs since 2017, just to get absolutely, I mean, realistically, they put up an okay fight. Leafs haven't played, I mean, I thought they played a pretty good game today, all things considered. I thought the Leafs played a pretty good game. I mean, you knew that the Senators were going to come out and absolutely just go hard. They did.
Paul Bissonnette is going off on Twitter about this.
Sens Twitter is crazy. Sens Twitter is crazy.
Oh, I love it. This is awesome.
I also have
Good
the
stuff.
impact scorecard here as well, which I mean,
That should be interesting. I would imagine the top line's there. I would imagine Domi's probably there. I thought he had a good game.
you have Matthew Nyes, Austin Matthews, Morgan Raleigh for the third straight
he's
game.
playing well.
I mean, everyone played great. Patch ready there towards the the bottom with Carlo Domi. It's the way that kind of the game was played. I thought Patches played a lot better than Robertson. I think we're definitely going to see Patches back in there. Morgan Riley has played really good hockey, which is surprising.
Yes.
Best hockey of the season came playoff time, which absolutely is what you need. In the history of the NHL, 211 teams have been down 3-0 in the playoffs. Only 4 have come back to win. Yeah, they got it. The Leafs got it. Nyes was great. Nyes was the best player on the ice. Matthews.
Well, it's a good thing that it's going to stay at 4 this year. That's nice.
I think having Stolarz just puts me enough confidence in me for that. A lot of big saves.
Difference. Yeah.
And he hadn't faced a shot in 42 minutes, and he let in the other one. So
Yeah, and last game it was 56 minutes or something,
56.
right? So very similar in that way. And again, yes, it went in, but that's the thing I'm talking about where like the Leafs, well, not just me, but I mean the broadcast they were talking about as well, that the Leafs are not only like limiting the shots themselves, but limiting where the shots are coming from. They're all from the perimeter, and if they're even getting on net, like it's been even on the penalty kill. Their penalty kill is fantastic in this series, by the way. Like special teams are just great, like a complete 180 from last year, which is literally the difference. But their power play is operating at over 50% right now. Like it's not sustainable, but very fun to watch. But
yeah, I do ultimately think the Senators penalty kill is terrible.
Absolutely it is. But they've just been doing a good job of limiting shots where they're coming from and blocking shots. So many block shots. Like Tanev, man, what a difference this guy makes. Like we knew it all season. We were seeing it all season, but now when it really matters, man, fantastic. And OEL, again, great job by Brad Living in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't really see what they were going to bring to the table in the regular season. You saw glimpses, little things of it, but like, man, this is something else. They're playing great.
Blue line is fantastic. And 3-0, a lot more comfortable than 2-1.
Fantastic.
A lot more comfortable than 2-1. And also, I mean, I don't know. It might be a quick, not to jinx anything either way. It might be a quick series on both sides, which would be interesting. You want to see the Lightning fight back. And of
I would
course,
love that series to just go 7. I don't care who wins, but just go 7 and then wrap this one up.
I'd give the Leafs a week off, which I also don't love. Just given.
There's that rust thing, but I think a lot of players are beat up. Like Barkov left the game tonight. We don't know what's going on with him, right? So like, I'd rather series go. I'm not saying like I want players to be hurt.
No.
I don't want to see anyone hurt.
You want
but
them
like,
to be feeling it though.
The wear and tear. Yeah, of course, right? To come in to play the Leafs. So
Crazy.
wrap this up Saturday, boys.
This time last year, 2-1. 2-1 Bruins and weren't feeling great.
No.
And now, a year later, this is why winning the Atlantic was so important.
Yeah.
Because if Leafs would have ended up playing Florida first, it would have been a battle.
Yep.
Would have been an absolute rust versus rest.
But that's also the growth that we've seen from this group too, where they did end up winning the division this year, where they wouldn't have last year, and they make some dumb mistakes down the stretch, and then they end up in either the second or the third spot, and then you play a team that's a lot better. So now they gave themselves this opportunity, right? And now you might move on to round 2, or it's looking like you're going to move on to round 2 to play. Again, one really good team in either Tampa or Florida, but you might have some rest now, right? And I don't know. I like it. It's looking good. They look great.
Yep. Step on their throats in Game 4. Crush them.
They have to.
Destroy their hopes. Hockey night in Canada. We were talking about how we were hoping Game 1 would be on Saturday. It's going to be the series-defining game. And the amount of blocked shots is also a huge difference in this series. Chris Tanev, I think they also.
How many did they block tonight?
I'll
check it out.
I could do some mental math here, but it would. The defenseman blocked 1, 2, 3,
like a ton.
6,
Like
7, 11.
McCabe and Riley
18.
had 8 between the two of them. Yeah, like
18, 19.
fantastic. So,
If you're new here as well, daily Leafs videos, Leaf streams after every game during the regular season, during the postseason, videos every day. It's all coming.
yes,
Core 4 is performing as well. So, and Morgan
Yes.
Riley's performing heavily. Like playing the best hockey in the past. Best hockey in years for him.
Well, the whole thing around Mitch Marner the last couple of years has been, what does he do after Game 2? And then he still kind of performs between Game 2 and 4 if you look at the advanced analytics, but it's beyond that where he kind of goes away. If this series doesn't go beyond 4, we don't have to worry about that. So let's wrap it up Saturday. But he's been great.
And also, I don't know how much.
Top 6 have been great.
When I think of the Core 4 underperforming, I don't just put it on Mitch either. Like, it's been everybody.
No, it should be everybody. And I think Nyes hasn't had a great series. Like, he's been scoring, right?
He had a great
He's been in
game
the right
today.
place. Yeah. But like last game, he didn't have a great game.
The
And
quiet
then, Matthews has, I think, been the best player in the series.
Yeah, and it's not by the way that we saw last year. They talk about
Yeah.
it. Elliot Freeman spoke about it.
Yeah.
2-way. Their defense is great. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just fantastic. Yeah, exactly. If you just sweep, there's no problem. Also, the biggest difference here, the biggest tangible difference is the face-offs as well. They are just crushing the
win every
Senators in the
face-off.
face-off.
Yeah.
So, it's probably get the Colin link going here. We can get some
Yeah, I'll get that up in the chat.
get a couple
here.
Collins going, and man, oh man. 200 members. The vibes are high. 30 likes off of 100. One more day off, and then I believe if it goes beyond 4, there's a few days off in between the games.
Yeah, so it's going to be Saturday, Tuesday. So there's an extra day in between there.
And then if they win on Saturday, we'll have to see. Could have a few days off, week off, because
We might not see you guys for a couple of days if they wrap it up Saturday. Maybe we do a stream in between just
I
for
think
fun
we do.
to see
I
what
think
goes
we do.
on with Tampa.
probably do a
and
stream
Florida.
once we figure out who the
The
particular
opponent
matchup is.
Yeah, for sure. We won't leave you guys for too long. It's playoffs. But again, that's assuming that the Senators don't win 4 in a row here. But man, the Leafs have put themselves in a great spot.
I just feel fully confident. It doesn't feel like the same Leafs that have choked in the.
It really doesn't. It's weird. I got a little PTSD flashback there when Stolarz let in that goal. Not gonna lie, I was like,
Ooh.
"Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that."
I had
But
faith though. I had faith.
you did.
Because if for them to beat the Leafs in this game particularly, Stolarz would have had to give up another one. None of the shots, including Brady Kachuk's Mickey Mouse shot, should have been a goal. I'm saving that. Well, no, but I don't know how he let that in. I think it was literally just zoned out. Like,
I think that, so if you watch the replay from behind the net, I think that Carlo was kind of screening him, and it came
so he
around
was.
Carlo on the other end to the short side. That's the only, maybe it hit Carlo. I don't know, but just from what I saw in the one replay, it was like maybe a little hard to see. I don't know.
Yep,
But
great defense and great goalie as well, which is the number one thing that the two number one things, Scott, that you need. I mean, oh, man, what a fantastic. 25 likes away. If you're lurking in here and you haven't hit the like button or the subscribe button, do ourselves a favor. I'm not going to waste any time. Jim,
can I ask you
go
a
ahead
question
before we
about?
get Jim. Yep.
Yeah, can I ask you a question about Game 4 here, Nick? Just your opinion. I'll throw it to the chat as well. I'm not saying they should do it. We're just gonna throw this question out there.
You're going to say Joseph Wall, right?
Would you play Joseph Woll in Game 4?
No, there's a very clear reason.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a ton of rest anyway. Like, you're not going to need rest.
Yeah.
Even if by let's say the series goes 6.
Yeah.
You're still most likely getting a few days rest.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you placed all. Don't come for my head in the chat, by the way.
I saw
throwing
people
a question
talking
out there.
about that.
I just want to see people's opinions, but I wouldn't.
Also,
keep a good
this
thing
series, if a different goalie is in net, not just Wall, any goalie, like it could easily be
Very
flipped.
different.
It could be 2-1 Senator. Like it's interesting. Jim, before I
Here we go.
want to thank you for the 20 gifted members. We hit 200 members, so we have that. Another thing, the Leafs are up 3-0. The vibes are high. My voice is, I got to stop yelling when they score. I mean, it's not my fault. The Leafs are going to overtime, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. But Leafs win. Vibes are high. We said it before. We said it throughout the whole year. I mean, it feels like a bit of a dream right now, but the good thing is, it is the reality. The Leafs are up 3-0 with a chance to sweep for the first time in a very, 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 very long time.
Absolutely, yeah. And guys, to be honest, like as far as a Leaf sweeping a team, period, that is, it's a rarity. But it's a rarity even in my lifetime. Never mind you the two of you guys. But what to be honest, I think Ottawa, for being honest, guys, prior to tonight's game, I thought Ottawa brought their best game in the last game, and the problem for them was that Toronto didn't bring their best game, and yet Toronto still won. Tonight, I think Ottawa looked good. I think the Leafs were kind of on their heels for a bit at times during these games. They were, and I give the Sens full credit, they were kind of pushing through to like the slot area, center of the ice. They were getting some more better shots and better looks than we'd seen previously, right? So, I mean, it's got to be disheartening for them, but screw them.
Exactly.
We're up 3-0, guys, and I think it can't be overstated, guys, especially when you look what's happening out west with Skinner and some of the controversy out there in terms of goaltending. Like, of all the moves that were made in the offseason, I think if you injected Trey with some truth serum, guys, I don't think even he would even have to admit, I don't think he realized the potential of how good that signing of Stolarz is going to be. Value for the money. We still got him signed for another year after this year, and we've got goaltenders elsewhere in the league. They're absolutely struggling, making $10 million, like 4x where our guy is standing on his head, looking absolutely incredible. And it goes to show, guys, that with what an absolute necessity it is to have solid goaltending. And it makes me think, back at previous Leafs would be if we didn't have, if we had more steady goaltending, if the team was built differently. Full marks to our goaltending, the way this back end of this team has been built. I'm absolutely pumped, guys. I realize, it is Ottawa. Appreciate the fact that it's Ottawa. I'm not saying that they're a quality opponent, but obviously there's much bigger hills to climb. But yeah, guys, let's give full marks where it's deserved. Stolarz has been incredible, and I'm really excited for what's going to be happening moving forward. I think, guys, it's one of those things. I read this going into this game. The Leafs had their power play, which is, I don't know what's going on. But here's the thing: we all kind of laughed at when Savard behind the bench and freaking out, and Brube's reaction. And I've probably watched it 100 times. Like, it is funny. But here's the thing: you look at how our power play has struggled throughout the year, guys. And I mean, I don't blame Savard for being pumped up, because I don't know what has changed. I don't get it. but they've definitely getting pucks in net, something we've talked a lot about. But it's just there's an assertion, and and they're all over it. And going into tonight's game, guys, 38 seconds. It took them 38 seconds total to score 4 goals in the previous games on power plays.
Yep.
Incredible. Now tonight, I think it was probably, they doubled that time probably tonight. But I don't know what their percentages are at now, guys. I think that's probably had. I think they had one. I guess they had multiple power plays, but not full power plays for the most part. Either way, guys, looking great. I would say they're in and around just below 50%, something like that. Anyways, I'm babbling on, guys. I've got so much to talk about, but I'm just so excited. I've got nothing prepared tonight. I'm just going to ramble tonight. I'm going to stop talking. You guys can comment if you like on some of the stuff I'm talking. I've got so much to unload, but I'm just super pumped, guys.
I think with the position they're in at up 3-0 right now, we're all feeling very confident, which is a little new, I think, for the last little while, first of all. But like you mentioned, I was watching the Oilers and LA Kings the last couple of games, and Stuart Skinner is a real problem there. They did nothing to address that, and they kind of knew it was a problem. And now there's talks of Calvin Pickard, former Leaf, by the way, going in net for game 3. And I'm like, man, thank God we're not talking about that here. Like, we're up 3-0. The team is playing fantastic. Like, there's nothing you can really pinpoint and say that this is a real issue in the team. Like, maybe Robertson last game, and it's like, well, maybe he bounces back. Well, he's not even playing tonight, right? And I thought Pacioretty was good. We'll get to that as well. But goaltending's been great. And it's not just the experienced guys, like an OEL, like a Chris Tanev, because we know the plays that they can make and the poise they bring to the lineup. But especially watching tonight's game with how tight it was at times, some of the plays that the guys who've been here on this team, like a Nylander, Matthews, Marner, just some of the plays they're making with the puck is just it's safe, but it's not too safe. Like, they just seem to be putting it in the right area, and it's like almost like they've been watching tape on other teams that win championships. Like, they're playing differently. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it exactly. They're more north-south. We know that. They've been playing that all year, but they're just putting pucks to the right area. They're getting above their guys. Like, every time the puck comes back the other way on an odd man rush, all of a sudden it's not an odd man rush because Matthews seems to be there and he's taking the puck off of a guy. Like, it's just been fun to watch. And yes, the games are tight, and it could have went either way tonight still, but I just feel more confident. Like, you're going to get that save and you're going to get that puck out. Like, that's how I feel this year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Darius. And I just think, the confidence, like we've all been at this a long time. You guys you obviously are analyzing everything far more than the average person. But yeah, it's a frustrating time. In the past, it's been frustrating to be a Leafs fan in terms of just like, because you never know what you're going to get in terms of playoff performance. And this is the first time. It's a very unfamiliar feeling that I think definitely the three of us and all the guys in the chat are going to have to wrap their heads around is being confident in a series. And guys, I can't remember the last time in a playoff series where every time someone took a shot at our goalie, I wasn't cringing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even making light of that. Like, honestly, it was just like, oh God, which shot is going to be the bad goal that gets let in? Because they're guaranteed to let in one, no matter who it was that was in that.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Gavin for becoming a member. Travis Green, you guys still aren't nervous? Yeah. To that point, I mean, like, that's why I was so floored when Stolarz let in that easy goal, I guess, if you want to call it that, because I'm so confident in him. And yeah, and the power play, I would sure love if the Leafs got some power plays. Wouldn't mind if the refs started actually, calling the game a little bit. But luckily they won.
Overlap.
Because I don't know I had. I think how many tweets? 4 or 5 liked tweets of missed calls. So I was ready to go in on the refs, but they avoided me because the Leafs won. They avoided the wrath of the footage of the missed calls. So I'll let that slide. But hopefully that evens out a little bit against Florida, because we're gonna need the actual refs to call things when you're playing a better team in Florida if we get there. Knock on wood.
If we get there. Well, and I think too, Nick, is that when you look at what's going on in terms of the physicality that's in this game, I think it's not to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm going to with this statement, is that should we be fortunate enough to move on and whoever we play from Florida, like, this is almost like a good warm up for the physical game that's going to be taking place there. I did have that game, the Tampa Florida game on tonight, and yeah, it's turning into a war there. Yep. So it's I don't want, I get much like you guys said, I don't want guys to get hurt, but if whoever is the victor out of that, if they come into the next series banged up and a little bruised, I'm okay with that. Um, guys, I want to talk about one of my, first of all, I love Benoit. I know you guys trash on him. I get it, and I know why, because he's not the most dependable defenseman. But you know what? For me, he's almost like that redheaded stepchild, where he's just like, everyone's gonna hate him, so I kind of love him. He skates like he's Frankenstein. He doesn't. He looks out of place sometimes. But you know what? Though I have to say, in terms in this playoffs, and definitely down the stretch in the regular season, he looked really solid. I think he's learned his role. He doesn't go outside of it, and I think tonight was the goal. I mean again. I think I made a joke about it some time ago that when when Benoit was on the top of the impact score chart, that he should frame that. Well, I have a feeling that goal is going to be, he's going to be getting photos of that he's going to be giving out. Signed pictures of for forever. But anyways, I just want to give some props to him. I think he's had a solid. He's had a solid playoffs for sure so far, even outside of the goal. I think he just looked good, and I think he's a value add, and he brings a lot of size and, dare I say, some measured defendability for a third pairing.
Yeah, we love Benny. Good.
Yeah, Benny's awesome. I've always loved. I mean, we'll joke around sometimes on the channel. You guys have been around for a while. Like, he had some bad games this year, right? Like probably more bad games than good.
Absolutely.
But when it matters, like you need guys like this to win. He had those 2 huge block shots late in the second there, right? He just ate it. Like he dived in front of the puck. It was awesome.
Speaking of diving, go ahead.
Tim Stutzla.
Well,
but he was he was fantastic again tonight, and he's playing with more confidence. And I think that's something they said Berube told him before the playoffs started, like start jumping up and like trust yourself, jump up in the rush. Don't think that you can only play one side of the game. So he I would prefer him to play one side of the game, but it's paying off right now. So he's been really good, and we've been on the Benoit train for a while. So.
Well, and leading up to and including tonight's game, guys, I read this the other day, so I can add to it after tonight's result. Is that the series between Ottawa and Toronto? Toronto has now had 5 people score overtime goals against Ottawa, and Stumpy Thomas.
I know Corey Cross is in there. I think
Corey Cross. Yeah, you're right. Corey Cross, Gary Roberts, Ty Domi, and now Benoit can add the elite company of Gary Roberts.
Gary Roberts and some league
for me to be
history,
saying out loud. Which is absolutely crazy for me to saying it loud. But anyway, last thing, guys, just want to say is just the addition of Patches. I'm not going to crap on Robo. I'll let the fact that he's eating popcorn do all my talking for me. But Patches was a value add. He was impactful tonight, and I think, whether it's coincidence or because of Patches being back in the lineup and being more physical and being a kind of a leader in that department onto that line, I think we saw some of the best out of that third line, especially McMahon. And I think Domi's still probably riding the confidence of that goal, but I think that whole line looked better, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I thought Domi led the way tonight. Like he looked way better. Probably just the confidence coming off that goal from last game, but I say that, but I feel like he has it in him. He's just not, skating well the first 2 games. And then obviously tonight played really well. I thought Pacioretty was a good ad. Like you could see from right away, like as soon as the puck dropped, I was like, all right, he's here to play. Cool. Because you don't know how it's going to go. He hasn't played in a while. So I'm like, all right, cool. He's here to play. I like that. And McMahon, I thought was good tonight too. Like he was skating, he was hard on pucks, like better than he's been the last 2 games. So when that whole line is going, they're effective, because then they were talking about this on the panel as well. It's a trickle down effect, right? If your third line's playing that well, then the matchups get all screwed up for the other team. So that's something that has to continue. And the fourth line's been playing great too. Like they actually look very dangerous. Like Lorentz almost scored a couple times tonight. He's a good hockey player. Like he
really is.
Plays the right way. So no, I think that, if they can continue that, I mean, after tonight, I don't think Robertson's getting back in. And I feel like, Nick, you said in the video earlier, that's like what we saw today is probably the best lineup that they have, like on paper. So why not roll with it again into game 4? So I thought he made a difference. And then, it's really messing up the Sens in terms of the matchup game, because the top line's still kind of going. The second line didn't do too much tonight, but then you got the third line going. It's like, who do you cover, right? What are you doing with the matchup game? So it's been good.
Yeah.
And Travis Green again saying he's not panicking and that it was a disheartening loss and that he liked a lot tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Well, you know what? From his perspective, I could see why he would. Honestly, I'm not being slight about this. He probably would like it because there's not a lot to take away from
It was a tight
Ottawa's game.
Yeah.
They were in it to the end. They played well. They played well. They checked hard. Ultimately they lost. So I mean, listen, Travis Green, former Leaf. I got to give. He's got to find some sunshine somewhere. You're down 3-0. So I'm not going to crap on a guy when he's barely even holding an umbrella anymore. So good for him. He can take his moral victories. We'll take the real ones, right?
Yep. And for anyone curious, the Leafs are ahead in the 5-on-5 advanced analytics department, because I'm seeing a lot of Sens fans out there saying that they won another game in the 5-on-5 department. So
they won the advanced analytics bowl again.
They actually didn't. The Leafs did, yeah.
Oh, they didn't. They
did not.
Okay.
That's my point.
Disaster
the Leafs
for them, I guess.
The Leafs
then,
won still.
Disaster strikes in Ottawa.
It's I'm excited
Well,
too. I'm excited. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sure there'll be lots of quotes tomorrow about how the Ottawa liked their start because they got off. They scored first. At the same time, they you scored first, but you're also gave up the lead. So I mean, anyways, guys, I am getting guilty of kind of looking forward a little bit, and this whatever team we face, which at this point looks like Florida, but I hope if it is, Florida can drag that one out to at least 5 or 6 games, as Tampa can, because I'd love to see, I want to see them a little more battle tested and us to have a little more rest. But I'm not going to, as Nick would say, count my chickens before they're hatched, which that is a saying, Nick.
I forgot the hatch part, so I just cut myself
it was minus the
off
hatch part.
chickens,
It was just the counting chickens. Yes.
I cut my losses so I didn't mess it up.
Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Unless you got anything else.
Jim, it's been a pleasure, and I feel great. We'll hopefully we'll get you in the stream on Saturday. It's going to be an electric one. Hopefully they clinch,
yeah, absolutely.
And we can throw the proverbial fireworks. We'll get some I'll get some fireworks animations coming in preparation of the clinch, and this will either be the most exciting day, or we have jinxed the Leafs beyond reasonable doubt, and then things are great. Any final thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, I've got some final thoughts which are absolutely unrelated to this, but I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. I've also got a new girlfriend who wanted to go out on Saturday night, and I said, hell no, I've got a game to watch and stuff to do after. So I will definitely be here Saturday night, and I just want to say to all the guys that are in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out here, man. I love this. You know what? This has brought a whole new dimension to watching Leaf games. I love hanging out with the two of you, but as well as all the guys in the chat. And I want to thank all the new members. And, you guys this is an amazing place. I'm just so happy you guys created it. Amazing community. And I'm just looking forward to keep building and building. This is where it's going. Cheers to everyone there. And of course, to the both of you. Go Leafs, go. And as I always finish off every call immediately in the playoffs, Nick, only 13 more wins.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Absolutely.
The countdown continues.
Crazy. Have a fantastic evening, Jim, and
have a good night, boy.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Jim.
And hopefully, your new
Take
girlfriend
care.
isn't too upset about that. But have a
Leafs are on.
Whatever.
Leafs are on.
There's always more girlfriends, Nick. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Shout out
Take
to
care, Jim. Have a good night.
Absolute beast.
We will see you Saturday for Game 4, where the Leafs will.
We hit 100 likes as well.
clinch.
We hit 100 likes. The vibes.
Thank you, everyone, for letting us hit 100 likes, by the way. Sport's been unbelievable. I don't even think we mentioned it tonight, so thank you, guys. Thank you very much for letting us hit almost at 1,000.
One day.
100.
And a bunch of quotes are flying out, which we'll cover for you guys in a video for tomorrow.
We will have a video out
in the
tomorrow morning. Yes.
All right, let's get into our 3 stars of the night. And this one is going to be interesting because there's a lot of ways you could go.
Yep.
I'm going to let you go first. That's
This is a tough one. This is a tough one tonight because it was a very even game. I'm going to give it to,
I'm kind of light.
I think my 3rd star, I'm actually going to give to Chris Tanev because I thought he played really well. He was rarely caught out of position. He was blocking shots.
It was Benoit who was giving the goal as well for those curious.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to Chris Tanev for my 3rd star tonight.
I'm going to give it to Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley / I want to give an honorable mention to somebody here, which is Max Pacioretty. I know he's pretty low on the depth chart. I want to give an honorable mention to him. He looked fantastic, and not even in the sense of making game-changing plays, but he had a ton of hits. How many hits did he have? I counted at least 6. 7 hits. So 7 hits,
yeah.
just a dog, and he provides more than Nick Robertson right now. So I think he's going to stay in there for Game 4.
Fair.
And you're going to need him against Florida. I think that's a part of the bigger concern here is needing him against Florida. So I have Morgan, I have Pacioretty through with Riley, and then my second star, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to Matthew Nyes here. Fantastic game because I think we both have the same first star for tonight's game.
We might. I was gonna go all defense tonight.
Okay.
Not gonna do that. I'm gonna give my second start to Austin Matthews again. I think he's been the best player in the entire series. In terms of 200-foot game, scored again tonight. Great pass by Marner, right? Like just unreal read and touch there because like how do you even get that puck to him? It was unbelievable. But anyway, second star Austin Matthews for me, and then I think we both have the same first star, I believe. But
Benny.
yeah, he deserved it tonight. Great game, great last game as well. Solid performance, overtime winner. Had an assist on the overtime winner of the last game. The Leafs are up 3-0. Heading into Game 4. Close it out on Saturday. Get some rest and see what happens before you head to Florida. Not head to Florida. You'll start in Toronto.
And it could be, whether it's Tampa Bay, Florida, whether it's actual
Right.
Fort
Where in
Lauderdale.
Florida are we heading? Yes,
We'll see
that's
what it is.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best streams we've ever had, and the vibes are at an all-time high. We'll have a video for you all tomorrow at around 8:40ish a.m. So if you're up early for work in the morning, so make sure to stay tuned for that. It was a fantastic stream. We get new members. We'll have new emotes. Thank you to everyone who donated. Paul, everybody, Blake, everybody.
Of course, Jim, with the 20, allowing us to hit.
Everybody, Archie as well.
200.
Every single person who, Johnny as well. Every single person. You guys are fantastic. Jim, thank you for calling in as per usual. Have a fantastic evening and enjoy the song that the Leafs are undefeated with our playoff intro song. So it is. Have a great evening, everybody.
Leafs Digest, your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends are told. From first puck drop to the season's full. Tune in and watch the drama unfold.